Hey everybody, this is Alessandro. Today I want to do a different video, a quick one, where I want to show you classic mistake that students do, and you definitely need to stop doing mistakes. And to be fair, guys, those mistakes are not done just by students. Sometimes I also see professional people, mid-level, senior animators, doing those exact mistakes. So pay attention to this, and please let's stop doing those. Let me start with the first one, right, guys? Many times I can guarantee you, people posing character with the knees spread apart like this. Okay, it happens more often than it should be, and I can guarantee you guys, it looks ugly. Okay, it looks very ugly to see the legs completely spread apart, especially the knees. This kind of shape look really bad. Okay, and the good things is though it doesn't take a lot to fix it, right? Sometimes it could be just enough stretching these, the leg a little bit here, right? You could actually shift the knee so you have the illusion of a straight line. You could have both of them, one straight like this, one bent over like this. Both of them could be kind of, both knees could point on the same direction, both of them left and both of them right. Maybe you could have like, maybe one leg is bent a little bit more, the other one is slightly, straight or something, but definitely not completely parallel. Okay, guys. uh doesn't matter, whatever, it's better than this one. Okay, this one is just a no, and I still see once in a while I see people doing that. Okay, let me move to the next one. When you're holding a weapon, okay, normally one of the things I see people do it, put the weapon here, just close the finger, almost like a fist. And the problem is, when you're going down in this position that you want to keep your weapon kind of straight down, well, obviously by default, this one is going to be flat like this, right? And I just see people doing this, right? Which is looks terribly, because now you have this angle here looks broken. And so, well, in this case, what you need to do is to kind of counter animate this one forward, okay, a little bit, so the angle, it feels a little bit more gentle, and readjust the angle of this one here. Okay, readjust, rather than be like this, you adjust like this, and kind of adjust little by little the position of the finger. Okay, if you are interested about this to have more details, there is a tutorial on my channel to discuss exactly those kind of stuff. All right, but it's definitely very important, because when you do something like this, it just looks anatomically broken and gives away that you have no idea how anatomy works in a human body. Right, guys? Let's move to the next one, which is about the finger pose. Okay, many times, like, one of the things people underestimate a lot is this controller over here when it comes to achieve basically relaxed poses on the hands, right? In fact, a lot of time people, when they try to do the relaxed pose like this, they just move the finger. You can achieve something, okay, but we can all agree that this is not really the best solution. Okay, and just by using this controller, you can bring things closer. You can achieve something like this. It feels a lot more natural, right? So this is mostly the natural bend of the hand, as you can see. This one of flat like this does not look good at all. I do understand that this is normally what comes from a T poses, all right? That's kind of normal. Um, but in anatomy, you see, this is the natural curve of the hand, right? And so be wise and try to use this as good as possible, even also to group the finger, not to keep them too spread apart, guys, because as you can see, when you have those holes here, it just doesn't look very appealing. It doesn't look very relaxed, right? Let's move to the next one here. All right, this is another classic mistake that I see. It's basically when you're bending your body, there is no reaction on your feet. The feet are being left completely frozen. I can guarantee I see this all the time, because maybe people tend to think about it as it's a fast movement. If the character is not, it's not a close up on the feet or anything, it doesn't matter. You need to adjust this one. And in order to adjust this, is basically bending those controller here. All right. Basically, you wanna go. Let me redo it one time for you guys. When you bend your body like this, you wanna do this, right? And maybe even a tiny bit like this. right? But you'll see now it feels a lot more natural because things tend to feel a lot connected. This one, this angle, your feet are broken, and there is no other way around this. Let me go to the new one next. All right, here, similar scenario. You have your weight more on one leg. Okay, this is gonna get left behind, but again, as you can see, this angle here doesn't feel very natural, right? So what you can do is actually use this controller, put it a little bit more on the side, then maybe they adjust this one if you want to keep it flat or something. But definitely it will feel a lot better, okay, if you can see the difference between those two, right? Again, this one you can see that this angle makes it a little broken. This one start to feel a lot more connected, right, guys? Let's go here. Okay, this is another one. So one of the mistakes I see people doing is that when you need to do, like, you need to change direction or you need to rotate your body and you're pivoting around this one, people use this controller, right? However, realistically speaking, if you, let's assume you have to move your body, you're doing a jump on the side or something, and your body moves here, obviously what you're doing this one, right? Realistically, you will never pivot here exactly on the front here, right? You will pivot around here. And you may say, okay, but Alessandro, sometimes many rigs, they have this kind of controller, which is this one here, right? Exactly. So this one is creating the right twist, right? It's correct. The only problem is that is from here, if you want to pivot this one forward, and well, now the pivot is moved overall here, right? Even worse, if you want to redo the heel behind, you want to raise it, you cannot do with this trick. However, if you're using this one, or if you're doing this one, then now you can do this, okay? And if you want, you can still doing this one, okay? So that's the advantage of doing this. The problem, as we said, is that if you're going from this one, let me roll back actually. If you're doing this one, as we said, the pivot should not be here, but it should be here. In that case, you might consider counter animating this one a little bit forward, okay? Actually, it should be actually here behind, and so you need to kind of offset and counter animate it. All right, as you can see, it doesn't take very long, right? Obviously maybe you have to tweak it a little bit when you do the in between, but it can bring a lot of benefits. All right, and so maybe this is a better solution rather than doing the pivot from here, that many times will be again anatomically incorrect. Right, let's move forward again. Let's take a look at the next one. All right, okay, here is another one, the spine controller. Another classic mistakes I see people doing is that when they move the spine, they do maybe a little bit of this, then they do a little bit of this, a little bit of this. They do one by one, right? And sooner or later, if this is your workflow, uh, things will start to be very disconnected, right? Especially when you're gonna start to do in between or main breakdown. Every time you do this one, okay, you started to move those controllers independently, guys. I can guarantee you when you will press the spline and you start polish, you're gonna have a lot of problem because you're basically trying to animate this one individually, not keeping in mind what you should do, and it's gonna bring a lot of problem, right? What I try to tell people, the correct way to do this one is select all three of them and try to move them together. I try to do this, try to do this one, uh, doing like this. Of course, there's always going to be a moment where you need kind of to tweak it a little bit more, right? Maybe you want to bend this one a little bit further, like this. Okay, that's completely fine. But the general movement, you want to give it with the three controllers together. Okay, same with the head. Okay, you want to try to move them, all of them together, and then maybe you wanna offset a little bit more here, right? A little bit of offset, right? But definitely not to start it to um, move things independently, especially at the beginning, because if you do not have the eyes, it's very easy to break anatomy, right? And sometimes I notice even when I point out this to students, I say, hey, don't you see that this thing is broken? When they don't have the eyes, the knowledge, they cannot even see they're making those mistakes. So just take the habit to take those things and animate all of them kind of together, right? Last one but not least, similar problem that I see all the time is that where the rotation of these things is going in one direction, and this one here is going to the complete opposite. I'm not really sure why the reason this is happening. Obviously, it's wrong. Sometimes I have the feeling that maybe they wanna, do things in a certain way, and they think they wanna do this one, right? And maybe they feel like there is a problem here, so they think, you know what? Maybe if I do this one and I bend this forward and then I do this. I mean, to be honest with you guys, I'm not sure why the reason, because to me it feels very illogical. But I can guarantee you it's happening, right? It's happening that this is pointing in one direction or sometimes completely still, and they do all the animation with this one, which in my opinion doesn't work, because whatever action you want to do, again, try to treat this as a something more organic, okay? And basically what you want to think when you animate your spine, your body, your main line of action, try to direct first the overall line of action that you want with this controller, okay? Try to nail down the first direction that you want with this one, right? Something like this, you wanna this kind of stuff. And then from here, you can, once you have the right direction, you can tweak it, you can twist it, you can bend it a little bit more like this, a little bit more like that, right? But as you can see, it's started to feel more organic. All right, start to do this from your controller. And because some people, I realize, oh, but I don't see my controller, because when I turn this off I only see the line of action. Well, yes, but this approach will give you a problem again when you need to spline, because possibly what you're doing here is counter animating. This is going one direction and this is going to the opposite. So when you're splining, it's always very difficult to achieve good result. And if you have to do it, it's gonna take you quite a while. Okay, guys. Very short video for today. Just want to show you this one. Hope you enjoy. If you've been doing some of those mistakes, let me know in the comment, and see you next time. Ciao, guys.